Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. I can resist everything except temptation. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. A man who does not think for himself does not think at all. A little sincerity is a dangerous thing, and a great deal of it is absolutely fatal. The only thing to do with good advice is pass it on. It is never any use to oneself. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. The world is a stage, but the play is badly cast. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. I am not young enough to know everything. There are only two tragedies in life, one is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt toward people we personally dislike. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. The old believe everything, the middle-aged suspect everything, the young know everything. Nothing is so aggravating as calmness. Men marry because they are tired, women because they are curious. Both are disappointed. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember that nothing worth knowing can be taught. One should always be a little improbable. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. The basis of optimism is sheer terror. A gentleman is one who never hurts anyone's feelings unintentionally. He has no enemies, but is intensely disliked by his friends. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. The aim of life is self-development. To realize one's nature perfectly, that is what each of us is here for. Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. Life is far too important a thing ever to talk seriously about. Who, being loved, is poor? To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. The heart was made to be broken. A woman will never be quite accurate until she has learned to golf. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Men always want to be a woman's first love. Women like to be a man's last romance. Between men and women there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. When one is in love, one always begins by deceiving oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes, or for their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. The mystery of love is greater than the mystery of death. A kiss may ruin a human life. Love is a misunderstanding between two fools. Hearts are made to be broken. A man can be happy with any woman, as long as he does not love her. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. It is not the perfect, but the imperfect, who need love. Love is not fashionable anymore. The poets have killed it. A soul grows more self-aware through love. The one charm of marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties. Marriage is the triumph of imagination over intelligence. Hatred is blind, as well as love. Deceiving others. That is what the world calls a romance. The one advantage of playing with fire is that one never even gets singed. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. The only thing worse than being in love is not being in love. Love is a sacrament that should be taken kneeling. Where there is no love, there is no understanding. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. Pleasure is the only thing one should live for. Nothing ages like happiness. The soul is born old but grows young. That is the comedy of life. There is always something ridiculous about the emotions of people whom one has ceased to love. Romance should never begin with sentiment. It should begin with science and end with a settlement. Love is an experience in which we find ourselves through someone else. No artist desires to prove anything. Even things that are true can be proved. Art is the most intense mode of individualism that the world has known. Art is the only serious thing in the world. And the artist is the only person who is never serious. The artist is the creator of beautiful things. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. There is no such thing as a moral or immoral book. Books are well written, or badly written. That is all. Art should never try to be popular. The public should try to become artistic. The critic has to educate the public, the artist has to educate the critic. Bad artists always admire each other's work. Fashion is a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Society often forgives the criminal, it never forgives the dreamer. The only excuse for making a useless thing is that one admires it intensely. All art is quite useless. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. The difference between literature and journalism is that journalism is unreadable and literature is not read. public opinion exists only where there are no ideas. A work of art is the unique result of a unique temperament. The past is not what it was. Democracy means simply the bludgeoning of the people by the people for the people. A community is infinitely more brutalized by the habitual employment of punishment than it is by the occasional occurrence of crime. The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy. Disobedience is man's original virtue. The imagination imitates. It is the critical spirit that creates. Art is the only thing that can go beyond logic. In the world there are only two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. The form of government that is most suitable to the artist is no government at all. All art is autobiographical, the pearl is the oyster's autobiography. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. No great artist ever sees things as they really are. If he did, he would cease to be an artist. Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter. The moment you think you understand a great work of art, it's dead for you.